good evening, everyone. Tonight is a special night because, as Ruth said, we get a chance to recognize and show appreciation to some of our most outstanding colleagues. This is truly one of my favorite nights of the year. The individuals and teams here tonight go above and beyond for our members, our patients, and the community. And tonight makes me so proud to work for this organization. And I hope you'll walk away feeling as inspired as I do each year.
Dr. Bal Jahagirdar, the oncologist. Dr. Bal saw his story written in the stars from a young age. Growing up in a small town in India, he would go to work with his father, a family practitioner who dedicated his life to helping underserved people get much-needed care. Dr. Bal has the reputation as a brilliant oncologist among his colleagues, and many doctors travel to learn from him. He stays up to date on all the latest oncology literature and knows the very latest for every type of cancer. If a patient has exhausted traditional treatment options, he searches for clinical trials that could help. Even with the serious nature of his work, Dr. Bal sneaks in ways to bring wonder, humor, and love to everything he does. He marvels at cutting-edge treatments and ways to bring them to his patients. He explores the universe of knowledge and shares what he's learned with new doctors. He's a bright star for a galaxy of patients that have come to know firsthand about his care and compassion. Dr. Bal's kindness didn't happen by chance. It was written in the stars.
We use our head and heart together. We use what we know and learn to provide the best care with science and medicine. And we use what we feel in our hearts to connect with people with compassion and empathy. Dr. Balkrishna Jahagirdar, a Health Partners physician who works at Regents and Lakeview Hospitals, truly embodies our head and heart together culture. First, he's a brilliant oncologist and is known across the state and nation. He knows the latest news and development for cancer. He's involved in research to find new and innovative ways to treat cancer, and he's on the faculty of the Department of Medicine at the University of Minnesota. Dr. Jahagirdar brings his clinical knowledge with him every day to solve complex medical cases and discover new trials and treatments. But along with all of his clinical knowledge, he leads with his heart. It's not uncommon for him to look across at someone and share earth-shattering news, a cancer diagnosis. He sees someone's world change in an instant, and in that moment, he does something phenomenal. He puts himself in their shoes. Whether it's a 65-year-old grandmother whose breast cancer is returned, or a 23-year-old recently graduated college student diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, Dr. Jahagirdar asks himself important questions. What would he want to know if the table were turned? What would he want his doctor to say to him? He connects with his patients and joins them on their journey. We all know not everyone with cancer survives. Dr. Jahagirdar is there to support his patients as well as his family and his friends, and their family and friends. He will tell you that this can be hard. So he brings himself hope with science. 70% of his cases will end with smiles, hugs, and a passion for life. It's certainly not in his job description, but he knows it makes him a better doctor. His passion for his work, his dedication to his patients, his colleagues, and his students is unmatched. We're so lucky to have him as part of our team. It's my pleasure to present Dr. Bal Jahagirdar with the 2017 President's Award.
All faces thank you, Andrea, and the entire Health Partners leadership team, also the leaders at Regents Hospital and at Stillwater. You appreciate things and value things that you actually, the principles that you live by. And I think you yourself, the leaders at Health Partners, are the embodiment of the spirit of this award. And I thank you for making it possible for doctors like me to deliver the same high quality care to a patient who had just immigrated, come off the boat from a developing country or maybe a war-torn nation, and to someone who's an executive in a company and able to afford care anywhere. So thank you so much for leading us by your example. So, imagine yourself in the shoes of a patient who has just been told that they have the diagnosis of cancer. It's a devastating diagnosis, like Andrea was saying. Their world is falling apart. They are scared, fearful of their uncertain future. When that distressed patient walks through the doors of our cancer centers, may it be Stillwater, may it be Regents Hospital, may it be any other cancer center, a lot is going through their mind. And our team of receptionists at the front desk, our nursing staff, rooming staff, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, social workers, psychotherapists, our physician colleagues, residents, students, pharmacies, clinical trial coordinators, all of them come together as a team and provide the support that that patient needs and that family needs during the time that's most critical to them. And for that, you need a very unique skill and a unique temperament. And you, my oncology team, wherever you're sitting, I can't see anything from here. I'm greatly thankful to you for doing that, and it is truly my honor and privilege to be working with you. You bring out the best in me. Thank you. We are shaped by the people around us, and I became a doctor because of my father, like was said before, a family practitioner in a small town in India who dedicated his life to serving mill workers and poor farmers. I used to go to his clinic since I was 8 years old. That was before the era of HEPA, so I did not have to worry about patient confidentiality. He had the unique ability to connect with his patients. He would explain the most complex medical issues to an illiterate mill worker or a highly educated professor from a university using analogies that applied to their everyday life. So those things stuck with him and they understood it. That skill has helped me a lot in my life and has proven extremely valuable. And for that, I'm very thankful to my father. My beloved mother is the strongest pillar of our family and has held us together through tough illnesses and financial hardships. My siblings and cousins back home have given up their pleasures to send me to this great country. My in-laws have trusted me with a piece of their heart. My beloved wife, Sally, without whom I am truly incomplete. My children, Om and Atman, are the light of our life. At a young age, they have started a non-profit organization that helps give the gift of eyesight to those who cannot afford even the basic medical care. And for that, I find them very inspiring. So thank you, kids. Mentors take time out of their very busy lives to shape our careers. I'm incredibly lucky to have dedicated mentors like Dr. Jeff Jaffe, who is, I would say, one of the founding members of our department, Dr. Randy Hurley, Dr. Brian Rank, all of whom are here today, and Dr. Pankaj Gupta, currently working at the VA, who is also joined by his wife. You are my role models, and you show me the way in difficult situations. So thank you for all that you did for me. So, by far, the most profound influence in my life has been that of my patients and their families. As an oncologist, I get to witness people in the most stressful and uncertain times of their lives. This is when true personal character of a person comes out, relationships and commitments are put to the ultimate test. Those with true grit bravely face this challenge and become our heroes. I am privileged and honored by the presence of 3 such families this evening, and with their kind permission, I would like to briefly share their inspiring stories with you. Jean-Paul Parisi was a celebrated Minnesota North Star hockey player, a renowned coach who was diagnosed with an advanced incurable lung cancer. When I sat down with JP and Donna the first time, Donna, his wife of 40 years, this champion understood that he was playing against a very strong team, cancer, and his time on this ice was limited, that he could not beat his opponent, the cancer, but if he planned every move, he could score a few really memorable goals. JP and Donna knew that life has its good moments. They have raised 2 accomplished yet very humble children, Jordan and Zach Parisi. As you know, Jack captained our US Olympic hockey team and plays for the Minnesota Wild. JP's humor, humility and modesty touched the life of every single person that he came in contact with at the Regents Hospital. And they remember him for that even a few years later. He had the ability to bring out the best in everyone. JP spent as much time as possible with his grandchildren, encouraged Zach at each game, and finally witnessed the moment when Zach exceeded the total number of goals scored by JP. What a proud moment for a dad to see his prodigy son do as well as him. Donna, would you please stand up? Sitting at table 13. Donna, in you, I see a dedicated caregiver, loving and caring wife and mother, and thank you. I am also honored by the presence of a brave cancer survivor, Patricia Quay. Patricia immigrated from the war-torn nation of Liberia and was diagnosed with cancer in her early 30s. 5 months of tough chemotherapy, as usual, caused many physical changes in her. Our cancer center staff became her new family away from home. That's Cheryl, who could not make it tonight. Patricia's father and Michael's grandma did everything possible to support her. Her then fiancé, Michael James, who fights wars for us, for our nation, and thank you, Michael, for your service to the country, declared a war against cancer on the home front. Mind you, marriages with children fall apart during these tough times, but not with Patricia and Michael. They stuck together during these tough times and defeated the cancer together, graduated from nursing school, and got married. Me, my wife, and children had the pleasure of attending the beautiful ceremony in their backyard. Patricia and Michael, would you please stand up? In you, Patricia, I see resilience and bravery. And in you, Michael, I see love and commitment. Again, please give a big round of applause for this great couple. Janet Coleman, or Jan as we call her fondly, recently actually won a battle against cancer, but in a different way, by making a difference in the lives of other cancer patients. She noticed that a number of our cancer patients cannot afford even local public transportation to come for their cancer treatments or feed their young families at home. Jan made a big difference in their lives with her generous financial donations to the cancer center. And get this, she did not just stop at that. She decided to continue making a difference after her soul departed from her body by donating her body to medical research. Me and my family attended Jan's Celebration of Life event and were struck by the number of lives touched by Jan during her lifetime. Her body continues to do the same after the departure of her soul. Those who think about and make a difference in the lives of others while they themselves are suffering deserve the ultimate respect from all of us. Tonight, we are honored to have Mary, Jan's daughter, and Janet, her close friend and principal caregiver, with us. They were always by her side during her battle with the stage 4 lung cancer. Would you, Mary and Janet, please stand up? To me, Mary, you represent the same values that Jan lived by. And Janet, you elevate the meaning of friendship to a whole different level in my eyes. Patients and families talk about healthcare providers touching their lives all the time. But I want to tell them how profoundly they touch and shape our lives. No words can adequately describe healthcare providers' gratitude to their patients. So let's celebrate patients and their families tonight. Thank you.